What's up, YouTube fans? Today we take a look at the Ocular Impetus Regenesis, their version of a G2 Vortex. So this is the second one we've gotten from Mastermind Creations or Ocular, and it is obviously recolored in the G2 scheme here. You see the camo deco here. It does come with a collector's card. It's PS-13R Regenesis, or G2 version. There's the tech specs, and he does have a bio. Now, obviously, it has been completely recolored here, so let's bring in the original. So here's the original, and I did put a Decepticon logo on him. But other than that, this is how he looks. He does come with these two guns here. So let's get in the other two guns. So they're now purple with, is that black paint? Looks like black paint on the end. So you can get those attached on his arms. I always liked how this looked, even the original one. There you go. It does come in the box with this detached, so you do have to attach this. Once you get it in there, it is in there tight, but you can get it off. So you just take this and get that in there, and then you splay these out. And it does have kind of a locking point at the 90-degree point. Alright, he also comes with a blaster. So here's that nice purple. Here's the original blue. And of course that fits in his hand. And there you go, there they are with their blasters. Really looks good. I like the new colors. It really just changes the look of this guy. They think they left everything the same except for obviously the gray plastic is now this darker blue. It doesn't look like paint. It almost looks like it's inside the plastic, but it's not. So I guess it is paint. It's just really, really well done. The camo. Here's the back. Obviously, again, they've repainted. The blade looks exactly the same, but everything else recolored, not repainted. The head sculpt is definitely repainted, so you can see instead of the gray or the bluish gray and red, you've got the purple and goldish for the mask. Really looks nice. All right, now let's go over Impetus Regenesis articulation. The head is on a ball joint, so it goes up to there, down to there. You can lift up on this neck. On the old one, that would pop off the joint. This one, it just stays on. They either made it tighter or they changed the way it was designed, but really nice. It doesn't pop off anymore. I really hated that. Rotate side to side, and you get the side to side movement on the head. You can rotate this on the back, whatever position you want. Shoulders rotate all the way around on a nice tight friction joint. They go up to there. Rotation at the bicep. Double joint elbow gets you the full bend. Rotation at the wrist. Everything's nice and tight on this, by the way. Fingers are individually articulated, so you can get them splayed out however you like. And then the thumb is on a ball joint, so you can get that folded up and around the gun if you want to. I didn't do that here, but you can do that. So nice hands there. They are curled, so if you wanted to point, you can't really point because he's got a curled pointer finger. Rotation at the waist, nice and tight. Ab crunch here, gets all the way down to there. You have hip skirts here. Now these legs are always been a little bit weird, but they're on drop down joints, mainly for transformation, but if you pull it down, it ends up like that, so you don't want it like that. Goes up to there on a ratchet joint, back to there, and there's a hip skirt on the other side, out to the side on friction, and when you bring it back down, you just gotta make sure you fold here and not at the inner joint, otherwise you'll lose that hip joint there. Rotation at the thigh. You have a, let's see, it is a double jointed knee, but the way it's set up, you only get 90 because it hits the back of the calf there. And then this sometimes moves on you, so. And you get forward movement, but obviously you don't want that. That's mainly for transformation into his arm mode. Continuing down, you have ankle tilt here. It's a kind of a weird, it's almost like a calf rocker here, because it doesn't really happen at the ankle, but you do get that. And you get a toe up and down. This doesn't move back and forth, but you do get side to side on that. And for a size comparison, there is Impetus next to the original version of Onslaught. I forgot their third-party name. And we have MP52 Starscream. So shorter than Starscream and way shorter than, this guy's actually kind of a little too big, but fits in, looks nice. I like the scale overall. All right, now let's get Impetus Regenesis transformed into his alt mode. Since we've done this transformation before, and it is exactly the same, with the exception of the head, that's really all that's new. It doesn't pop off. And in fact, I'll just show you. Here's the old one. It pops out right away almost. I just pulled it forward. But this neck joint is supposed to articulate. And because the ball joint's a little loose, you can get it. You just got to kind of mess with it. But mine is like especially loose. So he does have that inner neck joint, but unfortunately, due to the way the ball joint was set up, it didn't transform well. So it would pop off while you're transforming. This one is very nice and tight. So I love that. It's going to make the transformation much easier. But let's do that transformation off camera, and we'll be right back. And there's Impetus G2 in his helicopter mode. Really cool looking. It just works. I mean, I love the look of the camo. And obviously, this isn't going to camouflage with anything. There's no blue and purple jungle, but there's the back. I've noticed that tolerances, everything on this is tighter, so including this. So this doesn't spin freely anymore. I tried both sides, and unfortunately, it doesn't spin. But I actually prefer that because I don't need it to spin. Honestly, I just think it's liability. I'd rather it just sit still. This does still spin very nicely. Pretty cool. You can still put the guns here, and if you want, you can hurt your fingers to get that open and then get this plugged in there. It's still a little bit loose, but it fits better than the first version. You know, the tolerances are better. So I've noticed all the tolerances are better. But really nice looking helicopter mode. It does roll on those wheels. You can fold up the wheels, so you can fold these up into here, and then you can fold this back one here. But either way, I think it's a nice looking helicopter mode, and the G2 color scheme definitely stands out and looks great. And for a size comparison, there it is next to the Transform Element Nemesis Prime. A little small for a helicopter, but it's okay. It's going to become a limb for a combiner, so sometimes the sizes don't make sense here. But I'm okay with this slightly smaller than scale size here. So final thoughts on the G2 Impetus. Let's start with the positives. I think the color scheme looks really nice. They did a great job on this camo. I'm not sure how they're doing it. I don't know if it's paint or inlaid plastic or what, but it looks really good. So that bodes well for the rest of this set. That means they're all going to look really cool in person. I also think that just like the original, the posability, articulation, the tolerances, everything feels good. In fact, they've improved. I love that they improved things. Though the head, the joint doesn't pop off. That ball joint, that's really nice. All of the joints feel nice and tight. The tolerances are really good. So I don't feel like anything, there hasn't been any mold degradation or anything like that. So that's great. I also like the vehicle mode and the combined mode, obviously. Those are all the same, but just the overall color scheme, it does look really cool. Now, I did do a versus against the Unique Toys version. This one did win out. It is definitely more cartoon accurate than that one, but it still has some weird quirks, like the way the legs move, the way the hips and the knees and the ankles move are a little awkward. And then there's some bits and pieces here and there that just look funny, like on the arms, we've got this joint there. But overall, I do think it is the best available version of Vortex. I think they did a great job, especially since he has to turn into 3 things. So I highly recommend this. I'm excited to see what the rest of the set looks like. Now, if you don't like the G2 color scheme, this isn't going to change your mind. It is what it is. The color scheme is, in fact, this camo blue and purple. So other than that, though, I do recommend it, especially for the fully combined mode. I think it's going to look great. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.